Ayan. So, about MDM, or Master of Digital Media. So, it is, I highlighted the portions na I think important for us to understand about the program. So, it's interdisciplinary, industry-focused, graduate program designed to prepare students for high-level roles in the digital creative media sector. It combines theoretical and foundational courses to foster creative leaders capable of innovation within their specialization. The program emphasizes a comprehensive understanding of the socio-historical and ethical context of digital media, equipping graduates to navigate and shape the evolving landscape of digital arts and design. So, interdisciplinary because we are not just going to use one particular discipline in arts and design, no, to understand the entire program's offering. Nowadays, even just before this period, even before pandemic, the concept of interdisciplinarity has always been there and given importance to by a lot of studies, particularly in the graduate programs. Because it was discovered, it was believed that a particular problem or concern in the society can't be solved by one discipline alone. It has to be, we have to engage other disciplines in order for us to understand, no, the context, the content, and the root cause of the problem. And once we do have that kind of understanding, we would know how to solve that. But that's already solved in that particular moment, no? Because it takes a lot of time and effort to contribute and help solve a problem. But the thing is, we need various disciplines to see the value of what we can offer. And that's why it has to be highlighted in our offering. We're not just going to build skills and provide advanced skills, but also understand why we do what we do, why we choose our field, our skill, and enhance there. Anong purpose niya? So, given that information, the task or the main goal of MDM is really to provide students, graduate students, with tools, with knowledge and understanding, no, of what's happening around the world. And for that, to provide support and to contribute to reach a certain, for the common good. So, pang-UN na to, pang-UN SGD to. Meron tayong sinusolve the problem dito. And it's consciously embedded in the curriculum. Industry-focused because we are aware of how pragmatic the education system should be in order for us to contribute to the needs of the industry. Theoretical and foundation, as I mentioned earlier, we don't just look at the entire gamut of new media and see the wide scope of the landscape. So aside from looking at in that scale, in the width, no, in the span of different, not span, but in the span of, it's about 2 years that you'll be here, you'll be introduced to different kinds of new media platforms. Although you've learned that in undergrad, but this time, aside from expanding it, I'd like to make it more in-depth. So you go vertical in terms of understanding and knowledge. It's like providing or equipping the students with T-shaped framework. It's not just the expansion of knowledge, but also understanding it in depth. So yeah, that's why it's theoretical and foundational. And last is socio-historical and ethical context. No? Asan siya ngayon sa mundo natin? What makes it relevant? And why is it needed? And why are we doing this? So yes, that's one. And our value proposition, to make it simpler and shorter, Sir Gerson and I came up with 3 items or concepts for our value proposition. What are we proposing? At the end of the course, the students will understand that the program is industry focused. And with, of course, supported by theory and foundation and career specialization. As stated there, the Master of Digital Media program offers a unique blend of advanced skills. So this is beyond baccalaureate degree skills that you have received. A blend of advanced technical skills, industry insights, and opportunities to monetize your expertise or skills, helping you understand your market value and excel in the dynamic creative sector. You might say na, yes, MDM is needed for us to continue our profession as a faculty, as a teacher in higher education. That's already given. Once you enter into a graduate program and you receive a degree, of master's degree, it's already given that may career ka sa pagtuturo, no? Specifically in higher education. So I didn't put it there anymore. Kasi it's by default. Once you take master's program and you earn a degree, you are equipped and you can be considered to teach lengthily in the program, even develop from there. That's why the focus on the value proposition is this. The program is industry focused, different from the other master's program. It's based on theory and foundation, heavy on theory and foundation, and career specialization. Okay, slide. So, when I discuss course sequence and program flow, this is all based on CMO 15, 2019. So CMO is Shared Memorandum Order. This is what we follow. When we created the curriculum for MDM, we based it on this. We anchored the course offering, we anchored the concept itself, the core, and the different courses and the direction of the program from the CMO 15. So I'd just like to emphasize some points there, specifically here in section 3, the role of graduate programs. As mentioned earlier, it's really meant to contribute to the sustainable development of especially our country. And of course, you look at it in a wider scope, like regional, global. So that's basically the main idea of taking graduate program. So was it really necessary? Okay na ako sa undergrad ko I already earned my degree. So why do I have to take master's degree or even eventually PhD? Because you are really aiming to contribute to the development of the community, of the country, and eventually in global. So achieve a clear progression beyond the basic ed and baccalaureate degrees, which we all earned. And then make sure, this is you, as revised here, 2019 tong CMO na ito. Cutting edge, integrative, and interrogative teaching and learning contents, and higher competencies. So aside from knowledge production, which is given for any graduate program, it's really meant to contribute to the knowledge production of the discipline. Knowledge sharing and exchange means when you teach eventually in your class and probably in other schools and other programs, you'll be able to share what you've learned from MDM. And knowledge application and utilization. And that's what we're trying to aim here. Our intention is really to apply the things that you've learned, that you're going to learn in MDM to your chosen field of specialization. Whether it's teaching or whether it's enhancing your field in the industry, whichever. No, as long as ma-apply niyo siya. And number 2 is produce advanced competencies that can spur and sustain. Andito lahat yan. I'll give you a copy, don't worry. But I'd like to highlight here the probably the inclusive economic development, environmental security, articulation of Filipino culture and arts, meaning the concept itself, of strengthening and providing a solid foundation of students regarding Philippine culture and arts and heritage is already embedded in the CMO, meaning consciously, we have to produce graduate students with that kind of consciousness na alamin natin ang halaga ng ating kultura at heritage Pilipinas, and so that we can apply it in our fields of specialization. Second is nationalism. So why am I saying this? Because part of the curriculum of MDM is that. Although theories lang siya as elective, but it's directed elective, and that can be applied eventually in your capstone. Okay? Next, I'd like to emphasize also in the CMO, letter B, I didn't put the page, but I can share with you also the CMO, that this program, MDM, is non-thesis track. This is professional track. This is different from the other master's program. That's why it's not MA or MS. This is MDM. 2 years in the making. 2 years yung program. So if you complete the courses according to the designated place in the flowchart, you'll be done in 2 years. Master's in Digital Media. First term, which is going to be second term next term. This AY, DM, Foundations of Digital Media, and DMM EHAT. Media History and Theory. No, silang dalawa, plus CSB Live, graduate CSB. Yes, it's required. Yes, it's a requirement. No compromise. No haggling, ha? No haggling. Required siya. 1 unit lang, isang oras lang kada linggo. Most likely, online siya. Sige na, pagbigyan nyo na itong 1 unit na yan, ha? But the 3 units for foundations and media theory and history, 3 units siya. That means 3 hours per week. Okay. Lecture ito, first part, not necessarily first term, could be second term, but once you take it, ito yung dalawang foundation subjects na purely lecture. So wala pang tayong laboratory. Next term is Design for Digital Media, DM-DESME, and User Experience Design, DMUX-DES. Labs na to. Puro laboratory na to. Hanggang sa directed elective, which is also a lecture class. Okay. I intend to have the syllabi writers here to discuss each one of them kasi sila nagsulat, but they're not here yet. So I'll try my bestest to answer your questions when it comes to these details. So ito yung mga requirements. So if you notice, these are the heading, these are the subject. Parang siyang mother elective na name. Pero underneath this box, there are 3 courses that you can take. May mga 3 options dito na andito to. Ang liit, pag yung mabasa, di ba? Ako na lang babasa sa inyo, ano? For second term, Design for Digital Media, DLS-CSB, it's also foundation. Whatever you see here, let's say, mga foundation to eh. Itong Digital Media Applications and Content. Hanapin natin siya dito. Ito yon. DMAPPXC. So ano yung mga subjects underneath that you can take? Ayan na sila! Asa yung mga katropa natin mag-explain dito? So, sinong gusto mag-explain dito? So, underneath this Digital Media Applications and Content, there are 3 courses that you can take. First is Digital Filmmaking and Video Production, Seminar and Practice. Next, Survey of Digital Graphic Design. Next, Digital Branding, Research and Applications. Pili kayo ng isa dyan for your 3 units here. Okay? Another 3 units, Digital Media Applications and Strategies. Ito to. DMAPPXS. So ano yung mga courses na pwedeng piliin? Digital Technologies and Emerging Media. Content Creation for Digital Media and Strategy for Digital Engagement. So meaning, these are all required courses. Ito yung pinaka-mother name niya, and these are the kids no? that you can choose from. But choosing a particular course is also important because you have to think na already what's going to be your capstone. Because when you reach this part, all the things that you have learned here will be applied here. So parang build ka na ng content. So when you take your comprehensive exam, you know how to answer your questions. Kasi it's all applied and geared towards your capstone. Okay, so on and so forth until, so these are the main headings, no? Digital Media Applications and Content, Digital Media Applications and Strategies, Digital Media Applications and New Media, Digital Media Applications and Data, and this one is the directed electives. I'll mention earlier some of the courses in the electives. For now, gusto niyo bang pag-usapan yung mga ginawa niyo? Descriptions? Ito yun, mas malaking image. G, CSB Life. So, it's really for graduate programs. Kaya siya may G. So, specific talaga siya for graduate students. It's not an application or duplication of the undergrad CSB Life. It's really designed and meant for graduate students. That's what makes it different from the undergrad. Foundations, Ikaw ata yan ba? Pili ko nga, Miss Eric. Ako na nanahimik eh. Sige nga. Take it away.
Okay, just to give you an idea kung ano po yung Foundations of Digital Media. I'm not gonna read it. You guys can read that, of course. Kinakailangan kasi, kahit paano, when it comes to digital media, we have the basics. We have, ano ba yung, kasi sometimes, like us, from industry to some of our colleagues, lalo na yung mga taga-graphics, iisa yung takbo ng lingwahe. And just to give you how we actually, ano yung definition namin ng mga bagay-bagay, at saka ganun din yung pagkakagrasp natin ng mga bagay-bagay. Katulad ng, sometimes, just to give you an example, everybody's talking about a concept, when in fact, yun pala, their big idea on that one is that hindi pala konsepto yun. In their heads, mala-mala lang pala yun. Yung mga tipong katulad ng, hindi gano'n. So, since we are already in masters of, this is like, we were actually talking about that. Sino nga ba yung profile? Ano nga ba yung profile ng mga papasok? Siyempre, may yung nasa, meron ng konting grasp sa industry, especially some of us who have, karamihan po ng audience, kaya natutulong.
Yes.
Since gano'n naman dito. Hi, sir.
Next batch of audience yung hindi taga dito.
Kasi, another thing about this, the foundation of digital, I mean, like we said, some of us also, kahit na, we'd like to assume everybody can understand the same language, the terminologies. But sometimes, minsan paglabas natin sa, hindi nga, sa programa na nga lang, iba na yung lingwahe. So, gusto lang namin to generalize, to give the basics for that. Especially, sinasabi po dito, it's a software-based. So, ilan po sa atin ang sanay ng Adobe?
Canvas.
Hindi, bawal po. Heck! Ikaw, kilala kita. Ikaw pa nagtutulak ng Canva. Tapos, susunod po, which is media history theory. This is, maaari natin i-parallelize dun sa kinutakil. Pero, while it's historiographic, the parallel of that one is, of course, we're going to talk about not just the history of graphic design, but everything in between, from media history. Saan ba nagsimula? Nagsimula nga lang ba during the dawn of the 20th century? Or where did it really start? When did we start communicating with one another? Is it going to be as far back as that? But it's not just we're talking about just the history. Merong mga kasamang teorya yan, syempre. Kasama na rin. Yes, ihahagis din rin namin dyan sa gitna yung, we'll touch on a little bit about the Gestalt principles as well. Okay? Hindi na yata ako to. O ako pa ba?
Sino sulat ito?
Hindi na maalala.
Sorry for digital media.
Sobrang
tagal na.
Tsaka, at least that I can recognize, but I think we also changed some of the wordings of that one. Ay, the title.
Yeah, when we had our ARQUAT visit, ARQUAT is region, parang SHED siya na regional, quality assessment team. Yeah, it's a group of SHED assessors who went here, looked at our proposed curriculum, checked our facilities, checked our student profiles, and then they gave us recommendations on the content, not the content, more the titles.
Of the names lang.
Of the names, the nomenclature of the courses. That's why there are quite a lot of changes here. So this one, design for digital media, this is lab, isn't it? It's a lab-based. So pag lab, we're going to follow the same assessment as the undergrad laboratory course. Meaning, aside from the tuition and fees, there's also a laboratory fee. Which means, students have access to all our equipment and facilities. Okay. Ganun lang yun.
Viscom kasi.
Viscom kasi to.
Ito, basics lang talagang.
Wala. Lecture ito. And then the rest, a laboratory. I'll be showing you a little bit of our lab facilities, more of equipment na pwede magamit. Okay. User experience design, wala dito yung mga writers. But again, as mentioned earlier, these are courses that you can choose from one heading. or one type. One parent. The mall were the parent and the children. So, ito yung mga pagpipilian ninyo. But again, when you choose a particular course, it should be leading towards your proposed capstone. So, in a way, maganda kung meron ka ng idea or concrete project in mind. When you complete the master's program, how do you envision your capstone? Because from there, when you take the foundation subjects and when you take the courses, you're building assets already and concepts and theories, etc. Hindi na ako ng detalye. You can read the entire description here. Siguro, what we can discuss here, kung may questions pa man, on the electives, because ang daming options electives, are about 4. But you only have to choose one. Kasi 2 units nga lang siya. So first elective option is Human Image in the Arts, Historical and Contemporary Perspectives. So looking at the course covers how humans are represented in different forms and shapes, from sculpture to visuals, painting, to dance, to performance, to even music, even the sound, auditory component. How does that create an image of humans? So yun, pag-usapan natin dito to, from visual traditions up to contemporary expressions. Second elective option is Philippine folklore and folk traditions. Following the CMO 15-2019, which gives emphasis on Philippine culture and tradition and nationalism. Philippine folklore traditions, it's a survey of different folklores and traditions, but not all. Definitely we can cover everything in one term in 14 weeks. So from there, we'll take a look at their narratives, and some highlights of their culture. And then Philippine art and society, issues and perspectives. These are contemporary issues that we can tackle when it comes to creative industries. Because a lot of our indigenous groups are not so happy with the way creative industries are, touching on their lives. So we can talk about that. And then the last option for elective is Philippine indigenous art and its narratives. Again, from north to south, different indigenous groups, because that could be your content when you create your capstone. Because we're specifically our main objective, creating original content. Sa animation, yun ang laging flagship yan na kailangan matuto mo sa natin mag-create ang sarili natin content. So we're not just tools being used by the others and so providing service to the others, but we can provide our own. So it's pertinent for us to understand our culture, our language, our society, in order for us to create our very own content. So we can take a look at how they present their narratives, based on their culture, the history, their geography, their environment, and their struggles. Now, this one is for capstone. This is Independent Creative Work Project, Defense and Documentation. Nalinis to. 3 pa din. Again, ang requirement dyan, prerequisites, all coursework courses completed, passed, and WCE is written comprehensive exams. Written. Magsusunod ba tayo? Magta-type tayo.
Kulang sila.
Okay. Ayun! I'm sure you'll be asking, will I be given a grant by the school? Am I eligible? So meron tayo sa faculty handbook. Kung nilagay yung pahina. But I just took a screenshot of that portion. Now, who is eligible for study grant by the school? Sir John and your team has already provided this, di ba?
Just about, as long as you're teaching for about 3 years more or less with a consistent 6 units per term, technically 100% na po yung coverage natin ng scholarship. And then, in terms of first steps, we also got some of the hacks. So, just don't forget to mention, there's ang first step natin pala after the session for scholarship, you have to create a letter or draft a letter of intent and request for a scholarship grant. And then, ang important na hanapin daw doon, PODO, who will provide us the assistance to the Vice Chancellor for Academics for the funding, is the relevance of the course that you will take up to your career here in terms of teaching. So, as long as masagot nyo yun, or ma-highlight nyo yun, para 100% na, parang ganyan.
O basta ito yung timeline na X number of terms, X number of units, and how much subsidy you can receive from the school. Ito yung portion. The faculty handbook is accessible now, right? Ano ba ako? Tama, question mark. So I requested for a copy but I can share this with you. Ha? Okay, sinama ko to. Parang rough figure lang. Hindi. Para lang may idea kung magkano ang per tuition.
Yung lab fees are the same as
Yes,
the
yes,
undergrad lab fees.
yes. 491
Per
3. Asan siya? 4913. So tuition plus 4913 equals your, kapag may lab classes. Roughly, ito yung tuition. Hindi pa siya accurate ha. Kasi when we submitted this,
2022.
oh, 2022.
Inflation.
A little. Ito, meron handbook ang graduate studies, ang graduate students. Hindi lang student handbook for undergrad. Hindi ko rin ito nalaman. Nalaman ko lang ito when we were applying for the program. Meron pala! How wonderful! Diba? Sabihin nun, meron ka, you given this information para maayos yung student life ng graduate students. So, it covers 23 to 26 na school year. Also, accessible din siya, but I can also give you a copy. As a PDF. Ito, labs. Ano yung, diba, you're going to pay plus 4913 on top of your tuition. So, what does it entail for you to get the facilities and access? So, ito yung mga software, yung gagamitin, yan. Room 1002. Sinabi na ni Sir Joy, ito na kanyang sinuggest. And then the equipment. So these are the equipment items that you are entitled to use. Yes, sir.
Pwede ba po mag-request ng softwares na wala? Or aking
Ano yun?
Unreal Engine po? Kasama po
Unreal?
Wala siya dito sa
Kasama yun.
but nasa curriculum siya.
Programming.
It is free, pero naisip ko kasi yung mga additions. Plug-in.
Last sem.
So how do you give unreal? Ano ko dyan, Bill?
Already. Well, it's free.
Meron na daw po.
It's free.
Meron na.
Yes.
Need to update it, no? Kasi software.
2023, sir.
Oo nga, 2025 lang.
Ha?
2025 na lang.
Oo nga eh, totoo nga eh. Ginawa to ni Sir Joy. When did we submit this? Last year? March of last year. So I'm sure ma-updated na ito ngayon. Update tayo ngayon sa lahat ng labs natin. Tama pa ako!
Nalaman ko sa Monday.
Nalaman kayo sa Monday! We will test! So ito yun.
Next year.
Split down yung ano yun. Yes.
Last year, integrate na siya sa 3D
Which one?
Oh.
Which one is this?
May bago kami ng equipment. Yung mga equipment for the video. Yung mga black magic.
Mati apa?
May parating pa.
Tabihan natin si Sir Peps.
Sir, ano? Kasi si Sir Joseph, siya yung nakakaalam, update. Yes, sir.
Regarding po sa mga camera po, ano lang po, allowed lang po kami sa specific camera po? Or can we borrow yung mga mirrorless, yung other
Naka-separate kasi equipment for MCM, for graduate students. Sir, ano yung, hindi ito updated, right? Luma na to, last year kasi ito eh. Anong pwede ma-update mo? Sir Joseph! Ang may-ari ito mo siya.
Sa camera po din, mirrorless na po.
Oh, pero pwede mahiram ng ano? Ang alam ko, we can allocate.
Yeah, pwede naman.
We can allocate naman for graduate students.
Kasi mas anyway, the classes naman are usually at night. So it's not going to interfere also with the regular
Yes.
graduates.
So, ang intention lang natin, why we separate the equipment that MBM students can use and our undergrad. Kasi, ayaw natin pagsabay yung utilization. Diba? So, if the classes of MBM would be at the evening, 6 to 9, or Saturdays, Wala naman tayong conflict with our students. Yeah. Okay, ito yan. Ito pa. So, yung liit. Yung copy naman. Well, lahat naman to, may access kayo sa lab. So, separate ang section for MDM. Di ba, Sir Joseph, tama? Iniwalay natin yung sa master's students at sa undergrad. So, you'll be able to use this. Alam niyo naman tsura nito, di ba? You've all been there. You have a tour. Di ba? Wala pa. Mag-tour tayo. Ito yun. Meron din tayong sariling area in the library for master students. Designated area. We can't halo-bilo with other girls. Meron tayong specific area doon. Ayun. Yun siya. Alam niyo talaga. Okay. And then ito sa may last slide. Yung ating website, hindi pa updated. So wala pang section doon on application for master social media. Internal. Pero internal. No sir, we talked to Sir Royce about it.
After public.
Oo, kasi
next term pang publish. Next trimester mapapublish more or less.
itong sa that website,
Yung
sa
for
the
public.
application. Oo. Kaya nga we just got the approval last August. Diba, anong September? Hindi na klase. August, yeah. Patapos na yung term. Hindi, pumasok na yung first term, saka namin na-receive yung notice to proceed. Meron pa gano'n. Kasi we cannot offer it unless we have that document eh. Bawal yun eh. Na-sanction tayo ng siya. Papugayin yung ating autonomous. We're not compliant. So we waited for that before we offered this. In middle of the start ng term. Kaya medyo ngayon lang namin ito inasik. Hindi itong process like application. So that's why biglaan yung orientation. Kasi if you're going to offer it next term, this is in January, we have to ensure that we have enough students to offer this and we have faculty members also to teach. So ito, hindi ko nabanggit kanina sa CMO. Under CMO 15, 2019, for MDM in particular and for professional track in general, ang requirement lang for faculty to be PhD holders, ito lang. The program head, whether the coordinator or the chair of Master of Digital Media or SNMA graduate program has to be a PhD holder. And second, the capstone advisor should be also a PhD holder. But the rest of the faculty members for the foundation, or for the core, or for the other coursework can be a graduate of MFA or any course that are related sa field. So master's degree siya. Because of the dearth of number of faculty members with PhD in the field of arts and design and into the professional field, kaya ganun ang requirement ng CMO 15. Compared to the other master's program na kailangan lahat may PhD ang mga teachers. Tayo hindi. Only the head or the coordinator, chairperson, and the capstone advisor. So yung dulo to dulo, the begin and end. Dapat PhD holder sila. But the rest, pwede may PhD, pwede wala, but it's not fixed requirement. So ngayon pala, nililinaw ko na yan. So I think this is the last slide, and then Q&A. Questions na.
Meron na pong naka-raise.
Hi! Yes, Arian Arbolado.
Question po, for example, if, let's say, I've been teaching for 1 year, meron po ba akong
Grant?
like for example, discount and yes po, grant for the tuition?
Depends on number of units, no? Oh, it's there in the faculty manual though, kaka-check ko lang. Yung bago na revise, wala na siyang specific number of units equals, number of units served equals percentage. That was before kasi yung faculty manual naka-stipulate doon. In the new one, the one I showed earlier, ang general siya. But we can ask Podo in particular, si Sir Jerry ng Salapos. Siya ata yung head ko sa ganito. You can ask Podo. So you can email me, Miss Arian.
Okay po.
Just email me your particular concern, your question, and a little background, how many terms or 1 year, and how many units have you served college?
Okay.
So they can ask specifically sa kanya.
But would it be possible if I take 3 units kada term ko? Or should kailangan
Ano ba na kailangan?
Meron pang specific units you need to maintain.
6.
dapat 6?
Yeah, 6.
Question regarding the grant for tuition. If, for example, a PTF teaches 3 units for 2 out of 3 terms a year for 2 years, would their units still be valid when accumulated even if it's not consecutive?
Sa consecutive years. Ito kasi continuous, this is for FPF, continuous years. Consecutive years na lang ito sa
Consecutive dapat.
3 years or 9 consecutive terms and at least 6 units load per term. This is for
Isa-isang subject.
eligibility.
Yes.
Pero more than that.
Consecutive siya. If she skipped one term,
A PTF teaches 3 units for 2 out of 3 terms a year for 2 years.
kaya nga, may nag-skip siya ng isang term kasi 2 out of 3 terms.
Isang section. So,
You
probably.
can ask though, Polo, for
Definite answer.
Actually, yung si Sir Royce, nag-offer po na pwede raw po siya lang mag-orientation together with Podo. So that one, we'll be able to, hopefully after this, we'll be able to create a kit na andun lahat ng mga, more or less, contents ng ating info sessions, more or less yung mga kailangan yung mga starter na fundamental questions to be answered. And then from there, hopefully makapag-decide you to board the program. And then
form,
after
sir.
that,
Application form, sama mo na doon.
ayun po, sasama na parang yung application, lahat ng mga kailangan nyo i-fill out. So lalagyan na po namin dun sa kit. Pero initially, what you could do right now, if I may share with you also some details from Sir Royce of the admission. Magsimula na po kayo if you really decided on the program already, which yes, naman, kita-kita ko na sa mga mata nyo, diba? So, so with your yeses ng mga mata nyo at the energy nyo, you could start going back to your animo, nung last degree nyo, and then ask for a couple of details from them. Kasi the reason behind this will take about approximately 2 weeks or 10 working days. So pwede nyo siyang gawain ngayon kahit wala pang application form officially. So for one, you could request for a transfer credential, and then the other is a transcript of record. Yun lang yung 2 documents from your animo, the last degree that you took.
Ano mo sis? Hindi kasi yun.
Kung saan po yung last na recent na, sorry na
Sis lang tayo, sir.
So yung last yung previous school nyo po, you could go and visit and then ask for a couple of details. One is transfer credentials, the other is transcript of records. Yun lang po dalawa. And turnaround time usually takes about a couple of weeks kasi 10 working days. Kaya yun ang gawin ngayon na once you secure that, another na pwede nyo rin pagkalakad nyo sa kanya, the other office that you have to go to kung if you're uncomfortable online, is Philippine Statistics Authority and request for another new set original birth certificate. So yun yung 3 na medyo time consuming. The rest in between, kaya na po siya ng within 3 working days, I'm sure.
Mamaya pagkatapos ito,
pwede dumiretso na.
Then letter kay BCE,
Yeah.
attention through your chairperson.
And then a couple of recommendation letters from 2 sources na valid. May criteria po si
Printed or
Printed or digital?
Depende pag nag-open si Sir Royce ng portal.
Sir, yes sir, may question.
Actually, academic question po yun.
Yes sir.
Do we have any expectation of what the capstone will be?
I have an idea in mind, but I don't want to influence you with that because it's really open and free to experimentation.
I was thinking of a game, but
Yeah, of course.
Video games
Possible,
were-
yes,
okay.
yes.
Thank you.
Oo.
Would you make a game?
I just have to clarify muna with the team and with the coordinator kung ang capstone ba is individual
Or group,
individual. Configure.
But we can, but we can share research.
Of course, of course.
So it's not really a competition of research. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
When would be schedule of classes?
Second term,
I mean, may time slots ba?
6
to 9.
6 to 9. Either, so weekdays ha, we have to determine first first availability of the faculty. Anong araw siya pwede, pero dapat 6 to 9. Kasi parang tayo may pag-compete with the other programs. Second is Saturday. Although Saturday, meron MMA Saturday. Ginagamit ba yung technology?
Yes.
Yes.
Most, mas possible the 6 to 9 p.m. ng
Okay. For the labs. For the labs.
Yeah.
Okay.
For everyone.
But for the lecture,
Most likely the same.
ikaw lang tutulong ng ano, ako tutulong ng electives. I'll be teaching the electives. Ako mo lang ito syllabus na. Yes, Sir Gerson, meron tayo sa SMIT, na mga PhD holders, Ms. Erigan's class, for the other subjects. Animation, yes, meron din si Sir Pat, kinukuha ko. Okay, matulong ha. Sir Benji. Sir Francis, no? Yung mga practitioners, definitely. Yung prime natin consideration, mga practitioners. And for the lecture classes, yung academicians. And the field and our researchers also are aligned with the subjects. Researchers.
Yes. Oo, nasita na naman.
Natrigger ako sa word na research.
Sabay tingin ka sa akin.
Next, Sir Mochi, meron pa po kayo isang question.
Oo naman, meron pa.
Dapat kasi dito ka eh. Dapat kasi talaga police. Dapat kasi dito ka eh. Yes, sir.
Pero actually, itong question na to para kay Miss Kat.
Hot seat.
Oo, ay hakit kita ngayon. Kasi paano yun pala kung kunwari, let's say, we are working, yung mga ibang working professionals who have, a 9 to 5 job on weekdays. Tapos, nagtuturo lang kami every Saturday. What if kung merong Saturday class? Tapos baka matamaan yung schedule namin. Paano ngayon yung distribution ng load din namin for teaching? For that particular term also. Dun, dun, dun.
Pumili ka daw.
Pumili ka.
Yun po, sir. Ano po gusto yung prioritize? Parang student and academic advisor lang. What do you want to prioritize? Your work or your studies?
Career? Career or growth?
Actually kasi, I had the chance to talk to Miss Sharon about this na rin. And ang suggestion ko actually, of course, if I were to answer your question first regarding what priority, of course yung career, di ba? And that actually entails either it is further studies or yung career path, the current career path. But I was thinking lang, if ever that there will be a subject, let's say, that will fall on a Saturday, probably pwedeng i-work out na lang yung classes namin na instead of a Saturday, probably on a weekday na lang. Pero again, subject for adjustment in terms of the time. Also.
Kasi manageable pa lang naman for now. Just konti pa lang sila. So we can always do surveys rin naman sa mga incoming students na sa preferred schedules.
Pre-enlistment.
Sa pre-enlistment also.
Pre-enlist
So,
kayo.
Sir Mochi, serious answer is, we can work around it and see how we can adjust also. Para we can, serve you better knocks.
Yeah. Kasi eventually, pag dumami na yung students, kasi we're expecting also, aside from our fresh grads, also from the outside, baka we'll have 2 sections na.
Yes.
Kasi ang dineclare ko lang CFBU, max of 20 students per section. Hindi 40.
Yeah. And you expected natin for the first year is probably just 10. So
10, 15, that's the max number of students. It's already a conservative number. Kaya okay naman. Kaya pag dumami na, we'll have 2 sections. May options kayo, whether it's weekday, 6 to 9, or Saturday. For those who have conflict in the Saturday classes, you can opt to take 6 to 9 weekly class. And, what ba? We'll be bringing also visiting faculty from our partner institutions abroad. Like LaSalle Madrid, LaSalle Barcelona, LaSalle Mexico. Yun yung mga current partners natin ngayon also from Savannah College of Arts and Design, also from RIT, Rochester Institute of Technology. These are our partners, as in signed by MOU tayo with them when it comes to student exchange and faculty exchange, and also visiting faculty for our lecturers. So we've discussed this already about inviting them here to give lectures, workshops for our graduate students, not just the undergrad. So expect more of that too. And kayo din, you are also invited to join the mobility programs for international. Meron na, nakaset na. Mamili kayo kung saan yung gusto. Ito, options ha. Kasi talagang may dates na eh. For March, this coming March 2025, March 22 to 31 in Washington, D.C. Washington Global Institute. So politics, art, and culture. That's the topic of the mobility program. So we'll be bringing our students to D.C. and then New York. That's for March 2025. And then for Sir Francis, andiyan ka. No? Narinig mo ako. For July ba, sir? July is OCAD-U. OCAD-U is Ontario College of Arts and Design University in Toronto. It's July naman. Pupunta mga estudyante natin sa OCAD-U. They were here last May. Tayo naman pupunta doon. We bring our students. And when we speak of students, hindi lang siya undergrad, but also masters. Mag-iiba lang. Bifurcate lang at some point yung output. But the cohort will be the same. Okay, that's for OCAD. What else? For LaSalle Madrid and LaSalle Barcelona. In LaSalle Madrid, it's a transmedia storytelling program. 5 days in Madrid, 5 days in Barcelona. In Barcelona, it's VFX and animation. Kasi doon ang kanilang strength. So, dalawang programs yun. Saan pa ba? In LaSalle, Mexico, it's again the culture, history, something like that, no? So, maraming opportunities. Yes, sir.
Kung we decide or we get children to go there, sagot po ba namin yung ticket or yung manalo?
Yes, sir. Ganito, may mga partnerships tayo na ang sagot ng mga estudyante lang, airfare and accommodation. May iba walang accommodation and airfare lang. May iba kasamang program. So, iba't iba yan. Iba't ibang programming, iba't ibang output, iba't ibang allocation. But we are very active when it comes to internationalization. So we make sure that our students, both undergrad and graduate, get to have that kind of experience, of that global classroom, listening, hearing from different faculty from different schools abroad, and also engaging with other students. So ganun kasi immersion ang ginagawa. Questions? Hindi sa Singapore po ba?
Opo, this school year na rin, next term.
May Singapore Polytechnic. Meron din. In fact, sa Singapore, meron pupunta sa inyo, sa field. May inbound.
Sa January.
Sa January. Very, very much interested siya in studying here for 1 term. So, meron tayong inbound, may outbound. LaSalle, Barcelona, meron tayong inbound. Remember? Naging classmate niyo ba yun? 1 semester, 1 term from LaSalle, Barcelona. Kumuha dito. Ano sa? Pre-pandemic ata yun. Questions ba? Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Regarding po sa capstone, let's say po na ang mga elective na pinili ko na course is like revolving in folklore. Would the capstone be strictly need to have that content? Or pwede kami mag-change ng mind?
Not necessarily ganun ka-strict, but it would help.
Na kung ano yung
kinuha yung course. Because that's the main idea of the program, that you build on the content as you take the course. Of course, that's the ideal situation, but we change at some point, di ba? It's the natural course of things. Nagbabagong interest natin, nagbabagong direction natin, and that's okay too. Wala naman tayong kontrato nyo, kailangan mo ano yan.
May isa pa yung question.
Yes.
So, yung being said that po, would it be allowed not to take multiple na hindi lang 3 units na elective?
Pwede naman.
Pero audit parang same
Audit siya.
audit course.
A. Ang grade. Ano ba? Tama, nakalagay na A sa transcript mo. It won't be reflected. It will be reflected in the transcript, but not numeric grade. There's only one grade there that will be reflected.
Pero
Isa.
that would be, pwede naman na, if that's the case, if I take multiple electives, I can include that na.
Of course, yes. You will pay, yun nga lang, wala sa transcript mo. It won't be counted also in the GPA. If that's okay. But for me, okay lang yun kasi it's the knowledge that you're getting. Or if you want, instead of enrolling in that class, we'll provide na lang series of seminars. You can do that too. Para hindi nyo enroll.
Depende.
Lesson ako. I'm programmed to work on that framework. Yes, sir.
Dean, ano po yung structure ng capstone? Proposal, then proposal defense po, ganun din po.
Yes. May approach 1, approach 2. Sa proposal, may research na doon. This is application. Yeah. Ito na.
Yeah, first one, independent creative work, number 16.
Number 16, the first of two. Combinating.
For example po, like kami kasi, we are coming from the theater arts program. What if hindi kami adept into using any Adobe software? Will we survive?
Will we
survive?
We'll find out.
YouTube, sir.
How did you design this? Doesn't have to be purely digital. No, pwede rin siyang print. Same thing with Sir Jerry. Pero yung print niya, to experience it, drawn negative, gumamit siya ng QR code. So, to see the value of the work. And take a look at the field and combine and connect different kinds of